Today's play is the pre-call AI brief. You'll leave with one action you can start in 5 minutes. Welcome to This is the Play, one practical move for AI and sales. Today, we're going to be talking about the pre-call AI brief, and like always, we will end with one action in 5. Today's recording is a micro case, and I'm just going to keep repeating this a little bit to make sure that people understand. So the first episode each week is what I call an anchor episode. The anchor episode is meant to be a little bit longer, anywhere from 15 to 30-ish minutes, just depending on the complexity of what I need to go over and explain. Usually it's a more in-depth idea. This week's idea was creating a single source of truth, and that takes a little bit longer to make sure that I get the point across of how to properly do that. Today we're talking about a pre-call brief. I think that everybody listening to this probably already knows that, if I had something to help me on the call, that would be more helpful. So I don't have to talk about it in as much detail. So the micro cases tend to be less than 10 minutes, along with the operator diary, which is another type of episode that I do. That's the third episode each week. Great calls, guys, start before the call. That's the truth of it, especially in a B2B environment where we have good data, or any time an SDR is involved in setting a call. So a one-page brief can help keep your discovery very sharp. It can keep you objection ready and end with a clear next step. So the play is really 5 steps this week to get this pre-call brief. So one, we need to gather all the inputs that we have. We have to know the calendar invite, any email thread that's involved, and CRM notes that are facts only. The other thing that supercharges this is if you go to Perplexity, ask about so-and-so's, the name and the company name and how that fits into the service you provide. And from there, you're going to build the brief, which is one page. It's going to have persona, it's going to have pains, any desired outcome, likely objections. It's going to give you 5 discovery questions and that binary next step to remind you to book another call or to sign up or whatever it is, and 1 to 2 proof points. You're going to bring it to the call and you're literally going to follow it. That's it. And then you mark unknowns as assumptions to verify so you don't overreach. You're going to end with the path 2 times, typically, just to make sure you get them on board, right? So that's the entire idea of today. Like I said, it's not a complicated subject to speak on, and I think everybody sees the value in it. So I'm going to dive right into it and why people are here, which is the AI sidecar. How can we do this better with AI? So you're going to take what I talked about, the invite, the last name, notes that you have in the CRM, and also what you gathered from Perplexity into this. But for anyone not knowledgeable of Perplexity, it's basically an AI search engine. I'm not saying you can't do that with ChatGPT and whatnot. It's just, I think, a little bit easier to do with Perplexity, and then you can bring that all into ChatGPT to create a printable one-pager for yourself. This is the prompt you're going to use. Create a one-page pre-call brief from the inputs below, and all the inputs I just talked about. Return bullets only, plain English, no hype. The sections are going to be company and persona, what we know, and note unknowns. Current pains in 3 bullets. Desired outcome, 1 to 2 bullets. Likely objection, 3 bullets, each with 1 sentence handling angle. So that way we're already prepped for some of the things they might say. 5 discovery questions that are specific and non-generic. A next step, which should be binary with 2 realistic time slots. Proof points, so 1 to 2 short lines we can credibly claim. And assumptions to verify in bullets. If info is missing, do not invent facts list as an assumption to verify. Keep to 1 page. And then paste your inputs. The guardrails of this is to really keep it to 1 page. You want it to be bullets only, because you want it very easy to follow while you're on the call. You want to label assumptions, and you don't want to invent any. It's okay to have assumptions from AI, but we don't want it fully hallucinating. We want it to label those as this is a likely assumption. And you can dig into that on the call, obviously. You confirm the time zone on your 2 time slots and keep it plain English, no jargon. Sometimes when you're reading off, the reason I say confirm the time zone, sometimes you're reading off a page and you just say something and they're in a different time zone and then it comes off, and you schedule it for the wrong time. So just keep the professionalism there. With that said, that's pretty much it today. Paste your next meeting's invite and last email into ChatGPT and print the pre-call brief. And to finish, use it on the call and book the binary next step, which is that follow-up call, or, get them to sign the agreement and pay you. Bring the brief to the call and prompts in the notes. Have a great day.